Good evening, sports fans. This is Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. And tonight we bring you a featured match in the OIA Football Playoff 2001. Tonight's second matchup in this doubleheader, the Aiea Na'ali'i versus the Waianae Seariders. This is Wendell Stasko along with my pal Mike Bradshaw and Jeff Chang, our floor director. And we're here tonight to bring you this outstanding matchup of two great teams. One team undefeated, the Aiea Na'ali'i, in the white division of the OIA. They've gone 8-0 with no losses and 9-0 overall. They're facing the perennial OIA playoff team, and that is the Waianae Seariders, making their 29th playoff appearance in the last 30 years. And they're bringing a record of 5 wins and 3 losses in league, 6-3 overall. They're two teams that have had a lot of success this year, made some changes, done a lot of different things than you normally see from an Aiea or Waianae football team, but both of them gearing up for tonight's action. Mike, what do you think we're in store here for tonight?
With the way Waianae played last week against Kahuku, they may be out for a little bit of revenge, seeing as how they got very handily beat last week by the Kahuku Red Raiders. But it will all depend on which Waianae team comes to the game tonight. If they have their game face on, then
Green has won the toss and elected to
Aiea
defer.
is going to be real hard. It's going to be hard to beat them. But by virtue of the Aiea does have 0 losses, a big goose egg in the loss column.
Waianae receive defending the south end zone.
It should prove to be a very interesting matchup.
An interesting situation with this Waianae team. Halfway through the season, they decided to make a change in quarterbacks, and Keikoa Reyes, who had really started the season out as their first-string quarterback and played the preseason games, he was replaced by Caleb Paukaula, and Paukaula has done a good job with with Waianae, leading them in for 4 victories until they had that last game against Kahuku. And here we see the OIA team shaking hands as they normally do before games. We had a brief shot of the 2 head coaches, Wendell Say and Dan Matsumoto. And there's Dan Matsumoto, who, like any Waianae coach, big shoes to fill, a storied history, the Ginoza era, and other coaches that have been there before him. But I think he's done a great job. Here, of course, Mike, the outstanding quarterback for Aiea, Lole Lalamge, rewritten the record book this year.
Yeah, that gentleman right there has written quite a few of the Na'ali'i's pass records thus far. He has a lot of experience coming into the program by virtue that the young man is a senior. He's 5'11", 165 pounds. It's a little bit light in the posterior end, for a quarterback. However, that brings quickness. And right there on the screen, you'll see Keikoa Reyes. He's a 6'1", 200-pound senior. Now, that gentleman right there, going back all the way to last year, just a phenomenal quarterback. But there again, Waianae had to make a change based on the losses that they had.
And the thing
strictly strategic.
Right, and the thing with Reyes is that since they've put him on defense, he's intercepted a pass in every ball game that he started as a defender. Their coach told me tonight, though, that we may see him go both ways, play some offense as well as defense. So I think Waianae is going to put their best athletes on the field as needed, and we'll see what they need to do against this outstanding Aiea team.
That's called Iron Man football, when you go both ways. Of course, Waianae is, as we've seen, has quite a few people, so they can afford to, substitute quite liberally. as well as the Na'ali'i.
Well, Aiea will be kicking off to start the ball game. Kicking off, Jeffrey Veal, their 5'10", 150-pound senior place kicker. Aiea, of course, with an outstanding soccer program, and they've been able to develop some pretty good field goal kickers. The Villafort brothers immediately come to mind. Aiea giving Waianae a little bit to think about on that kickoff. Now they get into a regular set, back deep for Waianae with twin safeties. And here's Veal's kick. Goes back to the 10-yard line. It's coming up the field, and oh, he is met at the 20-yard line. And I believe he coughed up the ball, but let's see. No indication yet. No, it's kept by Waianae. And that was a real stick in there. I think that was Chevy Tevis, number 14, but let's see the replay.
As we'll see here on the replay, the ball goes back to number 21. That's Chad Rodriguez. As he's going out in the middle, boom, he gets hit by number 40, Keli'i Kikava.
That was number 40, not 14, but Keli'i Kikava making a great stick right at the 20. Ball's handed off, and there's a big hole. He's up to about a 6-yard gain. And that's number 25, Rosario, making a good run. Looks like Waianae going to try and establish that running game.
As we'll see here on the replay, the handoff goes to Rosario. He goes straight up the middle. Good yardage. 5 yards. Second down and 5.
And Mike, it was Kekoa Reyes getting the nod at quarterback. So Waianae going back to the guy that brought them to the dance, I guess, rather than Pauakaula. There's a handoff again, trying to get around the left side. And there's just nothing doing with the ball, number 21, Rodriguez. And he's really stopped for no game and maybe even the loss of a half yard. So
here again, Keli'i Kikava. As we'll see here on the replay, the ball gets handed off. He goes around the right side, and here comes Kikava. Shooting through the gap, nails him for a loss.
Waianae in a shotgun. Reyes back to pass, throws it upfield, and it's incomplete. That pass to the 35-yard line. And the intended receiver on that play, let's see if we can catch that number. That was number 83, Kalani Ho'opi'i, and that's incomplete. Bring up 4th down.
As we'll see here on the replay, courtesy of Morokai. As you see Reyes, haul off, throw the ball to his receiver number 83. That's Ho'opi'i. Here comes number 3, Byron Tucker Salas, a 5'9", 175-pound senior. Knocks the ball away. Excellent defensive play.
On 4th down, Waianae got into punt formation and then shifted.
But did ball fall.
Aiea
Encroachment on the
came across
defense.
the line of scrimmage, and it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Na'ali'i. And so it'll be Waianae. Still 4th down, though, 4th and 1. They shift out of that punt formation again, splitting 2 defenders wide. And there's a bad snap, and that ball is fumbled, and it's recovered by Aiea on the 8-yard line. That was a bad snap from center, Mike, and all kinds of things happen on that.
And on that one there, as you saw, the bad snap from center, number 1, and number 2, the Na'ali'i speed. That's what has brought him, as we'll see here on the Morokai replay. The ball's a poor snap, and there he is. Instead of trying to reach around, turn around and get it, he gets nailed right here, by number 44. That's Warren Taunu'u.
And it's Lalangi back to pass, and Lalangi's pass is complete to number 3, Brian Tucker Salas, and his knees down as he makes the reception, and that was a gain of about a yard.
That was just excellent concentration on Salas's part. He knows what to do. He whirls around and boom, makes a catch on one knee.
Lalongi still back in the shotgun. Waianae bringing some pressure. Lalongi has to run, and he's dropped for a gain of only about a yard. Dropped at about the 11-yard line. Not sure if he was really trying to pass when we take a look at the replay.
This right here is a coverage run. You can't really tell whether it's designed to go that way or not, but Lalongi, just stuck it as far as he could go.
They'll bring up third down for Na'ali. Lalongi again, back to pass. Looking right, now he tucks it under, he's gonna run. He's down to the 5-yard line. And again, good coverage by the Waianae defense. Lalongi didn't really have anybody to throw to. Tucked it under and ran up to the 5.
Yeah, as we'll see here on the all-sport replay, Lalongi, sees that nobody's open, so he just takes it into his hands, goes right up the gut. Good yardage, 5-yard line, making it 4th down, 5, goal to goal.
Well, Wendell Say wants to talk it over with Lalongi and the Na'ali offense, so Aiea called timeout. And now with 8 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in this first quarter, there's no score. Aiea, however, knocking on the door. They're at the 5-yard line, but it's 4th down. All right, we'll take a short break here, and we'll be back to Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. And we're back. It's 4th down on the 5-yard line for Na'ali. And there's a penalty flag. Looks like Waianae jumped across the line of scrimmage. That was number 94, Keone Ta'aka, the athletic director's son. So he may get a little bit of a talking
dead ball
to by
fall,
Dad later on.
encroachment on the defense, half the distance to the goal, still 4th down.
Offsides against Waianae. That'll take the ball down inside the 3-yard line. And that'll be 4th down. Now the ball just inside the 3. Na'ali still in that shotgun. Lalongi looking over the defense. He's got a man in motion. That's Nehemiah. Lalongi back to pass, being pressured. Penalty flags down. Ball is thrown, and it's knocked down at the goal line.
And we have penalty flags, like you said, Wendell, that came down on the field right about the 4.5-yard line. It looks like we're going to have holding against Aiea. And I do think that one right there is going to...
We have an illegal procedure on the offense. The penalty is refused. 1st down.
I was just going to say that, as we'll see here on the all-sport replay, see, Lalongi, sees that there's nobody open. I couldn't really, detect where the illegal procedure came from, but right there, they got away with it.
Waianae on 1st down inside their own 3. Just handing that ball right up the middle, and really, Aiea coming in through that middle of the line, and no gain for Waianae. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball still just at about the 3-yard line. Waianae was fortunate to deny Aiea, who had 4th and goal at the 3. But again, the ball's handed off and squirming out to about the 4-yard line. Waianae.
in order for them to really be established on their 3-yard line. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout, official timeout.
I think we got a little equipment problem in the backfield. That's Rodriguez back there, had a little bit of a problem.
And we got 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first quarter.
Keikoa back to pass. Reyes throws it upfield and pass is incomplete. Intended up there for Nathaniel Russell, and as Russell made his break up the field, kind of ran up the heels of the defender and went down. Incidental contact, no penalty, and it'll bring up 4th down for Waianae. They're going to need a little better snap than they had last time, Mike.
Waianae made a good goal line stand, and they couldn't capitalize on their fortune.
Good punt coming out to about the 38-yard line. Aia's got that picket line set up, and a good upfield tackle, but he breaks that tackle. And Chris Antonio brings that ball back inside the 30-yard line. It'll be Aia's ball, looks like on about the 28-yard line of Waianae. So Aiea right back in business. 1st and goal on the Waianae 28-yard line.
Yep, that was one terrific hit on that one there. He came down and just picked his position. Good yardage.
All right, Lalangi still back in the shotgun. Got double wide receivers on the left side, and there's a draw. Ball coming up the middle, and he gets down to the 25-yard line. Waianae had a little bit of a hole there. Aiea had a bit of a hole, but it closed fairly quickly on Nehemiah.
As we'll watch a replay here on the Menehune Water replay. Ball gets handed off to Jeffrey Veal. He heads straight up the middle for a very short gain, making it 2nd down, 6 yards to go with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Nalangi throwing deep. He's got a man down inside the 5. He stretches, but it's a touchdown. Aiea. 25-yard pass by Lole Lalangi, and he put it right on the money.
Lole Lalangi threw the ball out into the left flats, and Medeiros, as we'll see here, Ruben Medeiros catches the ball. Excellent concentration on this, and as we'll see here, right here, he gets it and just makes a stretch, crosses the ball. The ball crosses the line. 6.
And there's Veal's kick. It's up, and it struggles through, and that kick is good, and so it'll make the score Aiea 7, Waianae 0. Look at the scoreboard with 6:11 to go in this first quarter. Aiea has played this whole first quarter so far in Waianae territory, and Lalangi, a 25-yard pass to Medeiros, and he stretches it into the end zone. Makes that score again, Aiea 7 and Waianae 0. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. This is Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports.
When it comes to taking care of people's cars, just look for the Jiffy Lube sign. Doing what it takes, one car at a time. Doing what it takes at Jiffy Lube.
And welcome back to Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. Aiea going 28 yards in 2 plays. Took them all of 38 seconds to score. And that final score, the final play, that pass from Lalangi to Medeiros, 25 yards. Medeiros making a nice run after the catch, stretching the ball out into the end zone and getting it across the goal line. Veal makes the extra point, and Waianae on the short end of a 7-0 score.
Yeah, on that one there, that was just magnificent. And that right there shows the talent and the speed that the Na'ali'i has possessed the entire season.
That ball kicked again by Veal, and it goes out of bounds on about the 15-yard line. Penalty flag on the play, and it'll be a procedure penalty against Na'ali'i for kicking the ball out of bounds. Waianae will take the ball on the 35-yard line. So little better field position for them to get started. They're not back inside their 5 like the last series.
Yeah, and it's
We have an illegal
6
procedure,
minutes and 11
kicked
seconds.
out of bounds on the kicking team. The receiving team has elected to take the ball at the 35-yard down, like first down.
Just as we suspected, ball gets kicked out of bounds, as we'll see here on the replay. And this is the touchdown. As you see, Lolangi taking the ball and just stretching. Boom.
First play, Reyes. We're back to live action. Keikoa Reyes took the snap. Looked like he was going to roll left. Na'ali in very quickly. And he sacked for a
Waianae
5-yard loss.
Waianae, I don't think has been prepared for the speed that the Na'ali'i possesses. As we'll see here on the Minahuni replay. Ball gets handed off. No, doesn't even get handed off. He's rolling out to his left and just gets swarmed by the Na'ali'i.
And again, we're back to action, and we've got some either a false start or offside against Na'ali. Looked like the right end of Waianae stood up, but referee's talking it over here. We'll see if it's an offside or a false start. I think Waianae, I think you're right, Mike. They're getting a little bit antsy. They're trying to get ready for that speed that's coming at them with the Na'ali defensive front. And let's see, here's the penalty.
We got a dead ball foul, encroachment on the defense, still second down.
I tell you, Wendell, they've got a lot of beef up front for Waianae. Especially one of them is number 77. Mark Waianae is 6'3", 430-pound senior. It's a lot of beef to be moving around up there.
Right. Waianae from a old football family, but now Reyes on second down throws that quick out, and it's incomplete. That pass intended for Kalani Viernes, and it was just a little bit off the money, off his hands. It'll bring up third down and 10 for Waianae. So the Na'ali defense really making a statement here.
On that one there, I think what he tried is he tried to run before he actually had the ball. In other words, he heard the footsteps coming.
Reyes still in a quarterback in the shotgun. He takes the snap. Now he's going to run. He's up at the 40. He's up to the 45. He's got some room in front of him. Down to the 40, 35, 30, and he's knocked out of bounds on about the 27-yard line. Being knocked out of bounds by number 8, Calvin Martinez.
What was the run on that?
So Keikoa Reyes scrambling, finding good yardage, getting down the sideline. And Waianae now in very good field position.
27-yard line.
On the Aiea 27-yard line.
He doesn't see anybody open, so he just takes off up the middle, and he heads out and gets all the way up to the Na'ali'i 27-yard line. Excellent. First down and 10. Na'ali'i.
Reyes handing the ball off to Rodriguez, and that's pretty good gain. He moves it up inside the 25-yard line down to about the 22. Gain of 5 yards by Rodriguez. So Waianae looks like they've gotten a little bit of life after that scrambling run by Reyes. And now they've got second down and 5 at the 22-yard line.
That's what the experience of a senior comes into play. He can put a spark into your team just like that by making a run.
And Waianae just running off tackle. Taking that ball down. Lave going down inside the 20. Down to about just outside the 18-yard line. It'll bring up third down and a yard. The Jiffy Lube replay.
As we'll see, the handoff to Lave takes the ball, heads off for good gain, making it third down, and looks like 2 yards to go.
That was power running by Lave, and he got that ball down inside the 20. There's a run right up the middle by Rodriguez, and he's down to about the 12-yard line before the Na'ali defense pushes him back, but it'll be a first down for Waianae.
That one there, Wendell, caught the Na'ali'i, caught them by surprise. as we'll see here on the Dietrich Insurance replay. Reyes takes the ball, hands it off, and I don't think that the Naali'i was expecting it, but look at all of the players that were in front of him. They did a magnificent job of blocking. First down and 10 yards on the 11-yard line with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter.
That was Rosario on that handoff. Rosario rather than Rodriguez. Reyes faking the ball to Lave and keeping it himself on the right side. And he goes for a gain of about 5 yards.
And Chad Rodriguez was the trailer on that, following out to his right side, back right side. As we'll see here on the Tanioka replay. Reyes fakes the ball up the middle and then keeps it himself, heads out over the right side for pay dirt, making it 2nd down and 6 yards to go. 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
All right, Reyes under center again, looking over the defense. Takes a snap. Looks like gives it to Lave. Lave's down inside the 5-yard line before he's brought down by the Naali'i defense. So Waianae starting to show a little bit of that physical superiority up front. Their line starting to block, starting to move people out. It'll be 3rd down and a long 2 on about the 4-yard line for Waianae.
On that one there, that was just an excellent call right off the right side over the big man, Mark Tuine.
All right, Reyes takes handoff, gives it again to Lave. And correction, that was Rosario, and he is down very close to the 1st down. We'll see where the referee spots the ball.
They're going to have a good spot on this one. It looks like they were generous enough. They gave him what little they had, and still came up short, as you'll see here on the replay. Number 25, there he goes again. Rosario, he goes up the middle.
And Naali'i have called a timeout. I think they want to talk about it because with 4th and a yard to go, with 1 minute and 39 seconds, Waianae knocking on the door. All right, we're going to take a short break right now, and when we get back, you'll find out if Waianae can punch it in from that 2-yard line. This is Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports.
Say hello to service. Say hello to people who care. Say hello to quality at a lower price than anywhere. Say hello to good buys. Say hello to Price Busters.
All right, we're back, and with 1 minute 39 seconds to go, Waianae down 7-0, but they're knocking on the door. They're just outside the Aiea 2-yard line. They've got 4th down and less than a yard to go for the 1st down, and just a little over 2 yards to go for the touchdown.
Yeah,
so
they can get a 1st down and a fresh series of downs before they get the touchdown.
And Aiea, of course, concerned that they'd like to keep that 7-0 lead. Called a timeout to talk it over. Wendell Say talking with his defensive team. And all right, big play for Waianae. See if they can get back in this ball game. And Reyes just takes a quarterback sneak, and he powers it, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Waianae just overpowering the Aiea front four, and Reyes keeps it himself and takes it 2 yards for the touchdown. And, of course, that quarterback coach, Glenn Reyes of Waianae.
As we see here on the replay, again, he goes right off his right guard, powers right up the middle, stretches, 2-yard run. Excellent call.
And that kick is up and good, and we've got a tie ball game. With 1 minute 33 seconds left in the first quarter, Waianae comes back to tie the ball game up. Waianae 7 and Aiea 7. So Waianae got stung early but came right back to even the ball game up. And Aiea now is going to have to answer the call to see if they can keep that momentum going that they had earlier in the first quarter.
They're going to have to do that. But I think that last series of downs that Waianae just kind of surprised Aiea on a couple of plays, especially going right up the middle. I don't think they realized that Ray has had that kind of speed to break it out, to the left side. But my hat's off to the Waianae coaching staff on that last series. Excellent play calling.
Well, Kalani Ho'opi'i of Waianae going to kick off. And ball's kicked back deep, about the 11-yard line. He's going right up the middle. He's got some room. Now he breaks it to the outside, and Waianae staying home, keeping their lanes intact, and it's tackled down about the 30-yard line. And that was Chris Antonio taking the ball up to the Aiea 29-yard line, where it'll be first down for Aiea.
As you see here on the replay, the ball goes to, again, number 4. That's Jeffrey Veal. He goes right up the middle, and then looks like he's going to get stopped, cuts it back, and then cuts it right back into and that's Chris Antonio. My mistake.
That ball's handed off to number 5, Nehemiah, and goes for gain. Whoa, he keeps struggling. The whistle didn't blow, and he struggles out to about the 37-yard line. So a nice gain, almost 9 yards.
Yeah, Nehemiah.
Nehemiah, yes.
Yeah, he, as we'll see here on the replay, Nehemiah takes the ball, takes the handoff. He heads out over the left side, picks his hole behind good yardage, and you see there is not a whistle that has been blown, so he just keeps churning and churning and churning like he's been taught.
Alongi back to pass, and he throws it downfield, and it's picked off. That ball picked off by number 34, Pargas, and he's down inside the Na'ali'i 35-yard line. So Lalangi trying to hit the receiver. He threw in the triple coverage, and Pargas just waited there and sat in the zone and picked it off.
Lalangi, not only did he throw that interception, but he also made the tackle, as we'll see here on the Midas replay. As you see, Lalangi, he evades the oncoming rusher here, steps up, and it wasn't a bad-looking pass, but it was just overthrown, and it was an 18-yard return, making it first down and 10 yards.
Back to live action. Reyes rolling on the right side, and he fumbles the ball, and Aiea has recovered, or have they?
And on that one there, Wendell, they're calling the ball down by contact.
Referee ran right in and pointed right to the spot, called the ball down by contact. Reyes took that ball around the right side and was hit almost immediately. Gains a yard. It'll be second down and 9 for Waianae.
And on that one there, Waianae, I do believe, kind of dodged a bullet.
All right. That play also brought us right to the end of the first quarter. And so with the score, Waianae 7, Aiea 7, the first quarter comes to an end. An interesting, exciting first quarter with Aiea getting on the board first with a 25-yard touchdown pass. And then Waianae driving that ball back downfield, spurred by a great run by their quarterback, Kekoa Reyes. Getting the touchdown.
And on that one there, Reyes just, he just overpowered him with the speed that don't believe that he had. But what can we say? It's just going to be one of them games that Waianae cannot take the Na'ali'i for granted, but the Waianae has to watch out for the Na'ali'i speed. But then again, the Na'ali'i has to watch out for the sheer beef and the power that Waianae possesses, and the sheer quickness that they saw that young man right there, number 11, Kekoa Reyes, possesses.
All right, to start the second quarter, Waianae will have that ball, second and 9. Ball is on the Aiea 28-yard line. Kekoa Reyes still at quarterback for Waianae. He's under center. Hands that ball off to Rodriguez, and he goes for about 3 yards down to the 30-yard line, where he's met by that Na'ali'i defense. So Waianae looks like they're going to stay on the ground, try to grind it out. They've had some success, I think, until Waianae until Aiea shows they can stop them, they will try to overpower that defensive front of the Nali.
Yeah, on that one there, that was handed off right up the middle. Chad Rodriguez, ran off to the left. Short yardage gain, 3rd down and 7 yards to go at the 11:20 left in the second quarter.
Reyes in the shotgun. And there's all kinds of, there's movement up front. Penalty flags are down. We'll see. Looks like it'll be against Waianae, but wait for the referee to make the call.
The dead ball false start on the offense, still 3rd down.
It will be a false start against Waianae, but so far in this ball game, neither team has really committed a major penalty. We've had some false starts, we've had a couple of offsides, but for the most part, both teams pretty crisp and getting the job done without penalties.
And it's a nice thing to see that they're playing a clean game and just mental mistakes.
Reyes looking for someone to throw to, and he takes too long and he's sacked by number 9, Gustav Danielson. Ran the long way around the end from the left side, and Reyes took so long that he was an easy target for Gustafson.
As you'll see here on the Joy Acola replay, as you see Reyes looking left, looking left. As you will see him come right in the middle right there. Number 8. That was Calvin Martinez, defensive back, 6'2", 185-pound junior. Buried him for a loss.
Well, that brought up 4th down. Again, another bad snap, but the punt gets off and it's into the end zone for a touchback. Waianae having difficulty with those long snaps on the punt. And again, Kalani Ho'opi had to make a short stop of that football to get the punt off.
And on that one there, like you said, looks like the Manoa mist is coming over the Mauka end of the stadium, and may have been just a little bit wet, but there again, the snap was not crisp. It was not there like it should be.
All right, Aiea, first and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Lalangi at quarterback. Fakes the handoff, and that pass almost picked off. Good defensive effort by number 84, who we don't have on our roster. But it was
number 24 for Waianae. That's Kalea Batista. He was the one that knocked that ball down on that one. That was an excellent play. Coverage. Beautiful.
Thank you, Mike. That was 24. Good stop. Good defensive play. Lalangi, I think, almost threw that right to him. Lalangi again, back to pass. No pressure, completes that ball out to the 21-yard line. And Waianae covering quickly, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 25. That pass good for just a little over 5 yards.
As we'll see here on the replay there. As you see Lalangi, he looks off to the right and sees his receivers.
That's Chris Antonio, Mike.
That's Chris Antonio making an excellent catch, making short yards gain, making it 3rd down and 4 yards.
Lalangi faking the handoff. There's a hole off that left side, and he's up just over the 30-yard line. That'll be a first down for Nali. So Lalangi showing that he's got some running ability as well as that passing ability.
And this one here, this was a sheer designed quarterback draw. As you see, a fake handoff there, boom, right up the middle. He heads out, to his left, covers the ball up, switches hands to the right. To his left hand, just enough for the first down yardage, making 1st down and 10.
Lalangi again throws a quick out. It's not complete up the sideline, and a nice one-handed tackle by number 56, Donovan Ayala.
Donovan Ayala on that one. He just stuck out his paws. We'll see here on First Hawaiian Bank replay. Fake handoff, ball's thrown out to the left. As we see, number 6, that's Ruben Medeiros. And the man right there comes and just puts his long arm out and says, "You're going down."
Lalongi again in the shotgun. The mist is falling a little bit harder. That ball's handed off, and he breaks through the line of scrimmage. He's up over midfield, and he's tackled at the Waianae 45-yard line. Fa'asalele Nehemiah with a great run, breaking tackles as he went. And here the Verizon replay, Mike.
As you see here on the Verizon of Hawaii replay, the ball's handed off to Nehemiah, and he just heads right out off the left and just power, keeps his feet moving, never stops, never die, and making it first down and 10 yards to go on
45-yard line. Waianae, a quick pass out
And
to Chris Antonio. And
we do have some laundry on the field, and they're on the Waianae 45-yard line.
They had Antonio in motion, and I think will be an illegal procedure because I think, and besides Antonio being in motion, someone else jumped early, and so you've got illegal procedure against Aiea. And that'll cost them 5 yards if Waianae takes the penalty. They may take the down. I think they're thinking about it.
It was a loss of down on that one.
We have 2 fouls on the play. We have an illegal procedure on the offense. That penalty is declined. We have a clip on the offense. That penalty is administered from the end of the run. Replay first down.
See here on the Morokai replay. Right there, the movement. Number 56 for Aiea. He moved just briefly as Jerry Hop, a 6'2", 235-pound junior, moved just before the snap.
Aiea shifting back into the shotgun. He's got four wide receivers on the left. He's got a single receiver on the right. Lalongi rolling. He's being pressured. He scrambles out of trouble. He's up at the 40. He's at the 45. He's at midfield. He's still on his feet. He may go. He's still on his feet, and he's tackled at the 20-yard line. A great scrambling run by Lalongi, and finally making that tackle, number 11, Kekoa Reyes. But there's a penalty flag and is a clip against Aiea.
And on that one there, that's just so disheartening. After you get through making a terrific run, to be called back on an unnecessary clip. As we'll see here on the Royal Adventure Travel replay, Lalongi takes the ball
on the offense.
He doesn't see.
Penalty is administered from the spot of the fall. Still first down.
As you see Lalongi, he doesn't see. That right there was a coverage run. Aiea did one beautiful job of stringing out the play. Waianae made excellent coverage. And it's first down and forever. 40 yards. First down and 40. 7 minutes and 15 seconds left.
And on that play, we saw 2 or 3 instances where it could have been called as a clip. So it's hard to say where it was, but Aiea taking the ball, just running it up the middle, up to about the 27, 28-yard line. On the last 2 plays, Aiea has been called for clipping. Both of them saw the first one where number 53, Clifton Kia Cox, was definitely clipped. And on the last play, 2 or 3 people looked like were blocked in the back. So Aiea, a little bit disheartened, I think. 2 good plays wiped out by clips.
Right back to back. That was an excellent call.
Again, that quick pass, that quick out, and it goes nowhere. Stop after about a gain or 2. Gain of a yard or 2. And I think we've got an Aiea player down on the field as well.
As you see Li'i, throwing the ball out to the right. As we see right there.
It's Brian Tucker Salas who caught the pass and was tackled, and he's also the player who's injured down on the field. As he went upfield, he was hit from the side and driven down to the turf. Hopefully it's not anything serious, but the trainers are out. They're checking him. With 6:16 to go, we've got a good ball game. Waianae 7, Aiea 7, and both teams really came out to play tonight, and it's a very good, fast-moving ball game. Our previous ball game took almost 3 hours to play, and that was Kahuku playing Roosevelt, and in a scoring fest, it was Kahuku 42, Roosevelt 18. So a ball game that took a lot of time, a lot of scoring.
As we see, Brian Tucker Salas gets up, walks off under his own steam. In fact, he's running off the field, as you see there on the screen. It's good to see something like that after making a good catch with a terrific run, making it 3rd down and 35 yards to go, 6 minutes and 16 seconds left on the Na'ali'i, their own 30-yard line.
Well, Na'ali'i's got about 35 yards to go, and it's 3rd down. I'm not sure if they've got that 35-yard play, but we'll see what Lalangi does.
Throw him the heater. Throw him the heater.
Lalangi back to pass. He's got all day, taking a look, throws it upfield. He's complete. No, it's dropped by Chris Antonio. He was all by himself on about the 42-yard line, but he just couldn't quite hang on to that pass.
As we'll see, Mountain Dew replay here. Lalangi, looking off to the right, looking back to the left, looking over the center, and then he just starts running. Chris Antonio starts running before he has the ball. It'll be 4th down, 35 yards to go on their own 30-yard line.
On their own 30, we've got Medeiros back to punt. Punt goes upfield. It's covered well by Aiea, and it's bouncing around on about the 25-yard line, rolls back to about the 28, and it's down there by Aiea. So a good punt for Na'ali'i, and Waianae will take over 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line. So decent field position, but Aiea giving themselves a little bit of breathing room with a pretty good punt.
That was 41, close to 42-yard punt with no return. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Waianae Seariders on their own 28-yard line.
Reyes handing that ball off and just taking it right up the middle. Number 25, Rosario. And Rosario goes for good gain, about 4 or 5 yards. Actually, a pretty much better run. He went for a gain of about 5 yards. And so it'll be 2nd and 5 for Waianae. Ball now just inside their own 35-yard line.
There's excellent play calling on that
shotgun. He's got Rosario in the backfield with him. And that ball is faked to Rosario. Reyes keeping the ball, but Na'ali'i not fooled at all by that play. And he had 2 defenders out there, chiefly number 44, Ta'onu, who made a nice tackle on Reyes.
As we'll see here on the replay, the fake goes to Rosario, who heads out, to the right, to the left, and Reyes comes back, over to the left. Didn't fool any of the Na'ali'i. They did just as they have been taught. Stay at home, stay in your blocking schemes.
Reyes again, back to pass. He's being pressured. He's rolling, throws it downfield, and it's almost picked off. Oh, a good defensive effort by number 17, Daniel Saunoa. And he stepped right in front of the intended receiver and just about had that one.
And on that one there, it looked like Daniel Saunoa, a 5'8", 150-pound junior, was watching his eyes, as we'll see here on the Jiffy Lube replay. He was watching Reyes roll out to his right, looking, and he sees him and watches his eyes, and boom, just at the last minute, steps in front, almost had a pick.
Again, a poor snap by Waianae, and but he gets a punt off, and it goes out of bounds on about the Na'ali'i 33-yard line. Waianae continues to have trouble with their punt team. Those snaps are just coming in low, and Hopi is having a difficult time making a clean grab to get that punt off.
That was a 37-yard punt, and like you said, Waianae's having trouble with their long snaps. And I do believe that that's going to be one of the things that Coach Matsumoto is going to be working on next week during practice.
Well, Waianae's got to get past this game to still have practice. And there's a high snap to Lalangi. He hands it off to Nehemiah, and nowhere to go. He loses about 4 yards on that play.
As you saw there, Thurston Ulufale made a beautiful stop on that one. He wasn't faked at all. Just kept an eye on the quarterback. He saw who he handed it off to. Boom. Broke the wall. Made the stop.
Lalangi's got wide receivers, double wide receivers on the left side, a single wide receiver on the right. Backs to pass. Taking a deep drop, looking long. Now he's being pressured. Still scrambling. Now he's tucked it under, taking out the run, and he's run out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. And some really good sportsmanship over there on the sideline. Two players kind of locked up and went out of bounds together and helped each other up and got back on the field.
Again, there was Ulufale, giving chase. And like you said, that's good sportsmanship. As we'll see here on a Dietrich replay. As you see Lalangi, he's looking for a coverage. He's looking for his receiver downfield. Doesn't see anybody, so he heads around to his left.
All right, back to live action. Lalangi back to pass. Got a man wide open, and he's down to the 50-yard line, right at midfield. And that was number 10, Jeremy Ewan, making a nice grab, good run after catch, and a nice gain for Na'ali'i.
We'll see here on a Tanioka Seafood. Jeremy Ewan catches the ball and makes a good run afterwards. Of course, credit the man who's throwing the ball. That man right there, Lalangi.
And again, making the tackle on that play, Mike, was Kekoa Reyes, the Waianae quarterback turned defensive back. Lalangi back to pass. Again, has a man open. That's Antonio at the 40. And Antonio just squirms inside the 40-yard line to the 39.
And the way he was tackled on that sideline there, it looked like that he was going to have some knee damage, but he just springs up like, nothing. As we'll see here on the Price Busters replay. Lalangi sees him. He's looking downfield, and then, takes a short man right over there. And it's Chris Antonio. He takes the ball, and right here looks like his legs are going to get knocked out from under him.
Back to live action, Mike. Ball's handed off to Nehemiah. He's struggling, and he struggles down inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Just an outstanding hustling run by Nehemiah.
Nehemiah on that one, Wendell. He would be a dream for a coach, to coach, to put it mildly. As we'll see here on the Midas replay, the handoff goes to Nehemiah, and he heads out over the left-hand side and makes a good yardage, making first down on their own, on the Waianae 25-yard line.
We're back to action, and as they got set, we had 2 or 3 Aiea players moving, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be illegal procedure against Aiea.
Got a dead ball fall, false start on the offense, still first down.
Well, that's unfortunate. It cost Aiea 5 yards, and the yards have come very hard for them. And
yeah, you're definitely right on that one. The running attack thus far has been set up by Laulangi's arm, and the passing attack of the Na'ali'i.
Lalangi back to pass, throws it deep, and it's complete at the 1-yard line, and it's a touchdown for Aiea, making that grab number 6, Ruben Medeiros.
Ruben Medeiros got behind the receiver, Justin Burgess, as we'll see here on the Joyacola replay. Laulongi, sees him wide open over the middle, and as you see there, Burgess slips, and Medeiros takes advantage.
And here's Veal on the extra point, and that's good. Aiea scores their second touchdown. And with 1:51 seconds left in this second quarter, Aiea jumps out on top of Waianae, 14-7.
And that was a beautiful scripted set of plays on that one. As we've seen, that man right there, as we'll see on a food replay, the catch, Laulongi looking off to his right, he looks back over to the left where Medeiros just is heading back out over the left. Defender slips, man catches it, 6 yards.
It was a little bit of
6 points.
There was a little bit of contact as Medeiros made his break, but it was incidental contact. The defender slipped, and Aiea, 7 points.
And Ruben Medeiros is a feature player that we have on the front page of this Honolulu Advertiser. Him and Salas, both of those guys are the premier receivers for the Na'ali'i.
And for Waianae, back deep in this kickoff, we've got Rodriguez and Rodriguez. And that's Chad Rodriguez, number 21, and I think his brother, number 9, Travis Rodriguez. So here's Veal's kick. Goes to Rodriguez on the 10-yard line. Comes up the middle of the field. He's got a bit of a hole. He's in the clear. He's broken out, and he's tackled at the 45-yard line. Looked like he might be able to break that one for a second, but then the Na'ali'i closed it down. But a good return by number 21, Chad Rodriguez, as he takes that ball up to the Waianae 45-yard line. So Waianae's got 1:40 to go to see if they can even up the score again.
On that one there, that was a 36-yard return, and he was just picking and choosing his holes. First down and 10 on their own 45-yard line.
Reyes back to pass. Doesn't see a receiver, so he tucks it up, and he's just past the line of scrimmage. Only gains about 3 yards. And you can see Reyes trying to get his offensive team back, and now he calls a timeout.
As we'll see here, Reyes takes the ball, and that was a coverage run right there. He doesn't see anybody open down the middle. He takes off up the middle, and there we see who? Number 42, Leon Lautola.
So Waianae, with 1:23, uses their first timeout of the half. I think they want to talk it over, and they're in decent field position at midfield. But with only 1:23, it might be a little tough for them to get it downfield unless they can get that passing game going.
They're going to have to get that passing game going, but you've got to watch out for the swarming defense of the defenders, the cornerbacks and the safeties that the Na'ali'i possesses. They have good speed, but Reyes has just got to watch out that he doesn't overthrow like he did that last time and throw an interception.
Well, Reyes has been a pretty calm customer here. He's tucked the ball under a couple times. He made a couple good runs. On their touchdown drive, he had a nice long run on a scramble. So we'll see what he can do here. Reyes back to pass, taking a look, throwing it long downfield, and there's nobody there. I think that was Tiso Hines that went down.
That one there was supposed to go to Hines, number 81. That's a 6-foot, 160-pound senior, but he had slipped while he was going for his cut because of the slick field.
And Hines has been one of the favorite receivers of the Waianae quarterbacks. Got some big play potential in Hines, 6 feet, 160-pound senior. Reyes back to pass again, throwing it downfield, and again his receiver turned in, and that pass was thrown outside towards the sideline. So the receivers and the quarterback just not quite on the same page right now for Waianae. And that'll bring up 4th down and 7 yards to go on their own 48-yard line. And so Ho'opi'i back to punt again. And we'll see what kind of a snap he gets back there. That's a good snap this time. Gets off a end-over-end punt, hits on the 20, and it goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback for Aiea.
That was a 52-yard punt with no return, and that by far it was the best snap, deep snap, that they've had thus far. With 1 minute and 1 second left, the Na'ali'i will have it on their own 20-yard line. They'll have 80 yards to go if they want to bust a score with 61 seconds left.
With just a second over a minute left to go in this first half, Na'ali'i with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 20. Lalangi looking over the defense. He's got triple wide receivers right. Hands the ball off to Ni'imia, and Ni'imia breaks out over the 20-yard line, goes for a gain of about 3 yards. I think Na'ali'i content to have a 7-point lead, and will try to run this clock out.
Ni'imia just takes the handoff, as we'll see here on the replay. He takes the handoff, heads over the left side. You know, it looks like a dive play up the 2-hole, right over the guard. Making his 2nd down and 6 yards to go. 27 seconds left.
Lalangi back in the shotgun, again to Ni'imia. He's hit at about the 25-yard line, struggles for it for another yard or two. And again, a tough runner to bring down, but he stopped after a gain of about 2 yards. And that looks like will be the last play of the half.
We'll see here on the Hawaiian Islands replay, Hawaiian Airlines replay. As you see there, Ni'imia takes the ball, goes out to the right, doesn't get anything. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the first half of play.
And it's been an exciting first half with Aiea jumping out in front early, Waianae coming back to tie, and then Aiea on another beautiful pass play by Lalangi, getting that 2nd touchdown, and they lead 14-7 at the half. For Mike Bradshaw, this is Wendell Stasko and our floor director Jeff Chang. We're at halftime. It's Waianae 7, Aiea 14. We'll be back for the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, the Aiea High School Marching Band.
And we're back here at Aloha Stadium. Mike Nelson with Darren Hernandez. Coach Hernandez, what a first half we had with Aiea taking a 14-7 lead.
Yes, again, Aiea undefeated, 8-0 from the White Conference, and again, more than holding their own against the powerful Waianae Seariders of the Red Conference. Waianae having kind of an off year by Waianae's standards, but again, still a team to be reckoned with once the playoffs roll around.
Boy, that's for sure, but what a game we've got. And here we go with the second half kickoff. That's Waianae kicking off too. The Na'ali in green jerseys. Carrying the ball for the Na'ali is Chris Antonio, and he is brought down at about the 11 or 12 yard line, and that's where Aiea will take over starting this third period.
Tremendous hit there by number 31, Shane Rodriguez, 5'8", 165-pounder, and he led a charge there on special teams. Again, special teams will be huge. It set up an earlier score during a bad snap, and here you see the replay. Again, the end-over-end kick fielded there by Antonio. Antonio going wide instead of north-south and kind of pays the price as a host of Seariders converge on him.
Ball's on the 9 yard line. Laolagi, the quarterback for Aiea, passes off. Once again, he hits his man Chris Antonio. He gets the ball down to about the 20 yard line.
And Antonio tackled there by Andrew Sexton, a 5'11", 180-pound senior. Again, Aiea is going to come out with a short passing game with their run-and-shoot pass attack, led by Laulangi, who set an OIA record, 31 touchdown passes, only 10 interceptions. Very accurate passer. As he goes, so goes this offense.
2 touchdowns the first half, both of them to Ruben Maderos. Longi back again, all kinds of time, scrambling back, fires over the middle, and it was in the hands once again of Antonio, but he drops it.
Antonio was their second leading receiver during the regular season. He's normally sure-handed. Number 56, Donovan Ayala, was defending on the play. Here's the first Hawaiian Bank relay, and one of the attributes that really helps Laulangi is his maneuverability. There you see him biding his time, finding extra time in the pocket. Again, should have caught it in and out of the hands of Antonio. As I said, normally a sure-handed receiver.
So it brings up 3rd and 6, ball on the 19-yard line in the shotgun, Laulangi. Again, plenty of time over the middle. And that was intended once again for Antonio, but it seems like the pass was thrown a little behind him there.
That was a little bit behind him. Also, Donovan Ayala, again, our best coverage linebacker for Waianae, did an excellent job. Here's the Verizon Hawaii replay. But again, you give Laulangi this much time, the offensive line is doing a fantastic job of pass protecting, and they need to hook up in those situations. There you see Danny Matsumoto, the second-year coach, done a fantastic job out there on the Waianae coast. Also is a counselor at the high school and services a lot of the kids there.
So Naili have to punt the ball away. That's caught by Chad Rodriguez, and Chad Rodriguez goes all the way down the sideline over the 15-yard line of
Chad Rodriguez, number 21. There he is, the 5'9", 160-pound junior, breaking that punt return. And as there's number 6 in on the tackle, that was Ruben Maderos, the slot back. But I'll tell you what, here you see the Verizon replay, and special teams coming up huge again, this time in Waianae's favor, as Rodriguez goes practically untouched up the near far sideline until finally he's ushered out of bounds by number 42, and that's Leon Lautalo, a defensive lineman. So Rodriguez, the spark plug here.
So a handoff for the Seariders, knocking on the door of Aiea, trying to tie this ball game up. And maybe a yard on the carry there.
And that's number 25, Cavena Rosario, 5'9", 185 pounds. Again, the Waianae rushing attack, they don't have one standout running back. They kind of run it by committee. And there you see the man of the hour at number 11, Kekoa Reyes, 6'1", 200, probably the best all-purpose player in the state.
Kakoa carries the ball to close to the 10-yard line. He scored their only touchdown in the first half, tying the game up 7-7.
There you get a look at the biggest player perhaps to ever play in the state of Hawaii, number 77, Mark Tuine, the son of Tom Tuine, who played several seasons in the NFL for the Detroit Lions at 6'3" and 430 pounds.
He's
that
a
is
load,
some
Coach.
kind of a man right there.
Oh, my goodness. Look
at the arms on him. That's legs sticking out of his shoulders. That's not arms. And when he locks on to you, boy, forget about it. You're not going anywhere.
He could be a line by himself.
He could. He's an army of one.
So Ray says he wants to think about it. He calls a timeout for Waianae. There's a timeout here in the third period with 9:15 to go. Our score, Aiea 14, Waianae 7. Seariders threatening, however. And there you see Coach Matsumoto for Waianae. Wants to think things over. What do you think he's thinking about? What do you think he's going to tell his troops?
Well, I think for Matsumoto, they need to continue to run the ball on the ground. They need to continue to eat up the clock and keep the ball out of the hands of this high-powered run-and-shoot offense. Again, if they can continue to do that and grind out yardage and keep the time of possession arrow in their favor, then the game will definitely belong to them if they can continue to keep that up. Conversely, on the other side, Aiea, they need to do what they do best, that is throw the ball down the field and hopefully exhaust the defensive linemen for Waianae that's going to be playing chase all night. And if they can connect a few more times, it'll be tough. Waianae is not a come-from-behind team. They're a team that likes to melt the clock and likes to run out the clock and likes to play a physical bruising style.
Well, it's 3rd down and 8 to go on the 11-yard line. Ray just calling the signals in the I formation. Play action fake. And he's being chased down. Attempts a throw, but it will not be because of Na'ali.
That was a designed rollout, but the tight end was covered, and number 44, here you see the Marakai replay, number 44 for Aiea, and that is big Warren Tawanuu, 6'2", 230 pounds, led the charge. And here's Reyes actually with no place to go. He's hemmed in here and just kind of threw it away. He could have easily been called for grounding in that situation.
So they'll have to kick a field goal attempt here. Kalani Ho'opi'i kicks a field goal. That will be about 15 yards post thereof, and it gives our score a 10-pointer for Waianae. You see it right there. Aiea on top now, 14-10, Coach.
Look at the disparity in first downs. Aiea with 7, Waianae with only 2. Again, special teams played a huge role in that entire 3-point scoring drive. It was set up by that long punt return by Chad Rodriguez, and then OOP with the field goal. Basically, special teams really playing a factor.
Big stop by Aiea there. I mean, turning the ball over and then all of a sudden having to turn around, and they held them to a field goal. That's a big play for Aiea.
That really is, because now at 14-10, if they can score here another touchdown, again, Waianae will be in a situation where they're forced to come back, something that they really are not accustomed to doing.
So Ho'opi will get another kickoff here. There he goes. End over ender, and that is caught over there by Chris Antonio. Chris Antonio is down the sidelines. Chris Antonio may score a touchdown. Chris Antonio gets an arm raiser. He has a touchdown.
Well, Antonio, you know, he took a cue from the last return where he went east-west. This time he went north-south, right up the sideline. A tremendous high-wire act as he just balanced down the sidelines, didn't get pushed out of bounds, had a horde of blockers in front of him. Again, tremendous job. And again, special teams playing a huge role. Offense and defense, not really a factor here in the second half. It's special teams that's creating scoring opportunities.
Just absolutely amazing. You're right, Coach. The special teams are really playing it. Jeffrey Veal for the extra point. Veal gets it. He puts that .com on that touchdown. That makes our score Aiea 21, Waianae 10. Sort of a surprise here.
Well, that 81-yard kickoff return may have done it for him. Here's the Royal Adventure travel replay. And here you can see he's getting the ball here on, actually it's 87 yards. And there's Antonio. And just tight ropes down the sideline, as you can see here. There's no one out there containing. And Antonio just turns on the jets. He's got a lot of speed. And Waianae just kind of overplayed it and had nobody on the outside for containment. And Antonio makes them pay the price. Antonio, big play, a 5'10", 170-pound scat back speedster, makes Waianae pay the price. Now again, down 21-10. Waianae is not a team that is accustomed to coming from behind. They're going to have to air it out and try to pass a little, which is not their strong suit. They have capable receivers, however. Teasel Hines and Nathaniel Russell are a gifted pair of receivers. If they can find some protection, they may have to open it up to see if they can compete.
Kind of a good lead block there by Brian Tucker Salas, too, on that play. Paving the way for Antonio to go down the sideline and score that touchdown. We'll see how Waianae does answer back here. 8:47 to go here in the third period.
Well, you can be rest assured that Waianae will answer back. They're not going to lie down here. They played a win in the Waianae Coast. They're a tough team, and they'll be back, and they'll come fighting back right now.
There's the kickoff to the Seariders. Bringing the ball up the middle. And brought down. We're trying to see who that is.
That's Rodriguez, I believe, again.
I believe you're correct, and he gets the ball over the 30-yard line.
Rodriguez. Again, a seam opened up, and he squirted through there. Here's the Mountain Dew replay. We can see Chad Rodriguez gathering the ball in, letting that wall form, and then he kind of squirted through there. It looked like he had an opening for a minute, but a great defensive play, special teams play by number 42 for Aiea, and that is Leon Lautalo. 6'3", 210-pound senior.
Ball on the 31. Ray is brought down. He's dunked at about the 15-yard line. Looks like the young man that dunked him.
That's Leon Lautalo again. Same guy, 6'3", 210-pounder. And here's the Mountain Dew replay. They need to protect the outside. What they're doing is they're trying to roll out Keikoa Reyes to make it a run-pass option, but the offensive tackle, the tight end is releasing. Offensive tackle is not picking it up, kind of opening up his hips and creating a space for the defensive end to rush through, and that's really causing problems. And Reyes got to be winded, playing both ways.
15-yard loss up the middle, and that's Cavena Rosario gets a few yards.
And that's the third tackle in a row by 42, Leon Lautalo at 6'3", 210. He can fill out and play linebacker in college, boy.
3-yard gain, 3rd and 22. Ball now on the 19-yard line of the Seariders. Trying to answer back from the kickoff return from the Naili. Rage is back. And he is scrambling, and he is again brought down close to the 15-yard line.
Protection broke down again. Again, Keikoa Reyes is a tremendous player, but he's forced to be in a situation where he's trying to do too much. Here's the replay, all-sport body quencher replay. And Reyes, I mean, he's forced to try to bring the team back all by himself, and the pocket collapses, nowhere to go. Unfortunately, they don't get anything done on this drive.
Seariders have to kick the ball. Nice running kick. It was all the way down out about the
nice bounce for Waianae.
5-yard line of the Naili. And that's where they'll take over. You know,
That
Coach,
amounts to a 60-yard punt. That's quite an offensive weapon right there.
I believe this is the best record ever for Aiea. I believe they've never been undefeated before, and
Yes,
they're
actually,
showing their stuff right now.
This is the first time they've gone undefeated or gone 9-0 since 1966. And Aiea, a lot of people don't remember this, but they beat the number 2 seed in the red, Castle, in a preseason game. So they're for real. They have proven that they can play with the red conference teams.
There's a handoff and a flare. A flag is down. Carrying the ball for Aiea was Fa'asalele Nehemiah Jr.
Junior Nehemiah comes from a long line of Junior Nehemiah, 5'11", 220, comes from a long line of running back. There you see the offensive coordinator, big Amosa with the long ponytail there. He's a former all-WAC lineman and formerly my offensive coordinator at Campbell High School. And has moved on to Aiea, where he does a great job, a teacher, a role model, an inspiration to the youth of his community. Just a fine man, and big as a house, I might add.
First and 20 ball on the 15. Scrambling around. Loggy, but he doesn't get anything this time. He's got Seariders all over him.
Laulongi, and that's Andrew Sexton, 5'11", 180. And here's the Menehune replay. And there's Laulongi. Actually, a lot of time. Good coverage by the Waianae secondary. Laulongi forced to scramble, and a host of Seariders. Again, also there was big number 94, Keone Ta'aka, 6 foot, 235-pound junior, the son of Leo Ta'aka, the former coach and current athletic director at Waianae High School.
Lost 8 yards, second and 28. Laulagi scrambling throws. And it goes out of bounds. Gonna bring up
Dangerous
a third down
play,
situation.
Play action in his own end zone to Junior Nehemiah, and then he rolls out and found the going tough again under a fierce rush. He has to let that one go, and it was a little high and out of bounds. And now this brings up a 3rd and 28, third and a discus toss, and so an obvious punting situation here for Aiea.
And they come out lined up again. A shotgun. Laulagi. Hands off up the middle. Pasalele Nehemiah Jr. once again, and there's a flag down.
Junior Nehemiah, hard running guy. I mean, he's low to the ground. He keeps his balance, shoulders square, and it's a holding call. A holding call on Aiea. And Waianae would be smart to take this penalty and back him up even
holding
more.
On the offense, the penalties refused. 4th down.
So our head ref, Douglas
They want
Awana.
the ball. And there's Wendell Say. He's the dean of OIA coaches. Actually has been the head coach only since 1992, but he's the longest tenured head coach in the OIA. And again, he's been a coach since the late 70s at Aiea. So a lot of tradition, a lot of things have. He's seen a lot of things come and go at Aiea.
He's done a very good job. Niley will have to kick the ball away, though. It's caught on the 50-yard line. I do believe it's Chad Rodriguez with the ball, and he is smothered and hemmed in by green jerseys. You just can't say enough about them.
Teasel Hines, a really speedy receiver type, but again, with no protection and the blocking breaking down, it was easy pickings. A big 99 there for Aiea. Michael Jaber, 6 feet, 230. Here's the Dietrich Insurance replay. And here's Hines just kind of running behind there and looking for an opening to try and squirt through. Lautalo chases him, and then there's nowhere to go, and Teasel Hines just kind of has to pay the price there.
Ray just hands off up the middle. Who was it that had the ball? There he is. I knew we'd see him eventually there. That's Rosario.
Big 25, Cavenna Rosario. And there you see number 80. That's Nathaniel Russell, the wideout, 6'3", 200. His older brother, Clifford Russell, was an all-state running back for Campbell. I coached him and is now currently a Utah Ute and the leading receiver for Utah.
2nd and 8. And that's carrying the ball. Chad Rodriguez, he gets a few yards. I believe he got a first down.
Nicely executed option play. Again, Reyes is such a threat to run the ball, and Brendan Antonio and Keli'i Kekava drove him out of bounds. But there you see that stutter step, and then he actually does pitch it, and that freezes the defense long enough for Rodriguez to get just enough for the first down.
So Waianae is starting to move the ball a little bit here. They're down 21-10. 3:50 to go here in the 3rd period. We see them. Cole Regis. Hands off up middle.
That's big 45, Saltia Lave, 5'11", 225 pounds. Also a long line of Lave players. His older brother, Matt Lave, is a 6'3", 305-pound tackle on the same team, blocking for him. Here's the Tanioka's replay, and there you see the big bodies moving up front in the trenches, and there's Lave moving the pile. At 225, he's the prototype fullback for this wing T offense that they run.
Officials temporarily stop the clock, but head ref there, Douglas Awana, says let's wind her back up. Let's start it. 1st and 10 on the 43. The 43 to Naili. There's a fumble on the play. Let's see who's got it. Looks like Ray just recovered his own fumble. So that's a good break for the Seariders.
That's not what you want to do. I mean, here's the Paina Bar and Grill replay. I mean, they're glad. I'm sure Coach Matsumoto is happy that he recovered his own fumble, but you don't want to begin 1st and 10 and fumble the ball and then find yourself in a hole. They want to gain 3 or 4 yards per carry and grind it out.
2nd and 12. Ray just throws a little flare pass out to Rodriguez. I believe that's who that is. Of course it is. And he gets down to about the 37-yard line.
Pavena Rosario again, 5'9", 185 pounds. And Daniel Saunoa, 5'8", 150-pound junior, does the wise thing and takes him low. Here's the Price Busters replay. Say hello to goodbyes. And here is Reyes, and he just kind of flicks it out here to pass on the perimeter to Rosario. And Saunoa does a good job of taking his legs out from under him.
3rd and 3. Ray just throws it, and he is picked off. Running the ball with the interception, Brian Tucker Salas. He gets it all the way down to the 26-yard line of the Seariders.
Ryan Tucker Salas, a 5'9", 170-pound senior. He's been a varsity player since his sophomore year. And this guy can play, and this is exactly how you play boundary corner. And he does a great job of breaking on the ball, actually breaking before the ball. They get a good look at Tucker Salas. Here's the Midas replay. Again, Kekoa Reyes telegraphing his throw all the way, and Tucker Salas breaking not on the ball but before the ball, making a tremendous interception and a great return, setting up this offense here.
38-yard interception return. Up the middle, carrying the ball for the Naili is Aiea Jr. once again.
In on the stop, number 41 for Waianae, and that is Thurston Ulufale, 5'11", 195-pounder. He'll be back, only a junior. The junior Nehemiah at 5'11", 220. He's the prototype at running back for the run and shoot. We want somebody who can pound it inside between the tackles.
2nd and 8. Back. Lagi throws over the middle, and it's caught and dropped. Looks like that pass was intended for Richard Rodriguez. He had it in his hands and he dropped it.
Laulangi had Richard Rodriguez. Again, he had a lot of time. Here's the Joy of Cola replay. And here's number 12, Laulangi, standing in the pocket. Not a big rush. And he just kind of he puts it right where you had to put it. I mean, that was a touchdown, and Rodriguez took his eyes off the ball for a split second, and it cost him.
Just going to bring up a 3rd and 8. Ball still on the 25-yard line of the Seariders. Laulongi. Again, has time. This time he takes off with the ball, though, and he gets down to about the 19-yard line, maybe past that.
Laulongi on 3rd and 8, forced to scramble, and he'll be short. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 3. Here's the No Foods of Hawaii replay. Again, patient. There's nothing opening up. Big Russell Bell, number 44, a 6'2", 240-pound middle linebacker, pressures him out, and he goes and scampers for about 4 yards, but it's still going to be short by about a yard and a half, actually, now, after they spot the ball. And there you see the 2 ball boys. Very important job in this rainy weather, keeping the ball wet.
Brings out 4th and 2. They're going to go for it, but the Lee want to call a timeout with 56 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter with our score Aiea 21, Waianae 10. They want to think it over and see what they want to call here, Coach. What do you think they'll call?
Well, I think 4th and 2, they'll do one of 2 things. I think they'll try to draw them offside with a long count and a hard snap count, and hopefully maybe one of the defensive linemen for Waianae gets over anxious and jump off sides. They're not known as a power team, so I think they'll pass in this situation. Even though Nehemiah Jr. has done a great job running inside, I think they'll probably have an inside run blitz just for that occasion. So I know Coach Amosa is thinking perhaps a short pass or maybe a quarterback draw or maybe a draw to Nehemiah. But again, this could change the complexion of the game. If Waianae's defense can come up big and stop them, that would definitely be a plus for them.
Well, here we go. 4th and 2. Laulongi, he is hassled, and he gets the ball across anyway to the middle. It's caught by Antonio, but we have a flare in the air.
And under a heavy blitz, again, Waianae coming with 7, 2 more than the Na'ali'i left in to block. And on 4th and 2, when they needed it most, here's the No Foods of Hawaii replay. And again, I like the presence of mind of Laulongi to scramble and buy himself some time there. And Antonio quickly becoming the spark plug of this team.
Thought there was a flag down, or wasn't, so they get a 1st down. Handoff goes to the 8-yard line. Let's see who carried that ball for the Na'ali'i. There we go. That's the quarterback. Sorry about that. So he gets it down to about the 8-yard line.
And number 44, I mean, this guy is one big middle linebacker at 6'2", 240, Russell Bell. I mean, he can really bring it. But there you saw a speed option. And Aiea with 8 first downs. Waianae only 3. After 3 quarters, Waianae with 3 first downs. I mean, most people would think that that's an error. But again, that's a credit to Aiea's defense. They have risen up and played really well this evening.
So we'll go down to the other end of the field. And we can talk about how Aiea got here in this 1st round, undefeated. What about Waianae?
Well, Waianae opened up with 2 tough losses to Aiea and, to Kailua in the Red Conference. And then to Castle, and they lost by 20 points. They lost by 20 points to both teams. And again, really had to fight and claw their way back. Their defense has been really up to par, and their defense held a powerful Kahuku team to only 21 points. It's offensively that they've been having their troubles. Again, Kekoa Rays in the mold of the old Kurt Govea. Kurt Govea played both ways for Waianae in 1981 as a senior, went on to play for BYU and the Redskins, where he won a Super Bowl ring and a national championship. But again, Kekoa Reyes brings back memories of Kurt Govea playing both ways at quarterback and safety.
2nd and 9, ball on the 9-yard line, start of the 4th period. In the shotgun, Laulongi. plenty of time. Throws over the middle. He overthrows his receiver, and it's intercepted in the end zone.
And that seems that time it seems like it was an incorrect route by the receiver. Here's the Hawaiian Airlines replay, and this time Lalangi looks like he's throwing a fade route, and the receiver cut it short and ran the wrong route, and Shane Rodriguez, 5'8", 165, was there. And anybody who wears 31 for Waianae, you know they got to be a good player. Chris Pongofie, an all-state player, and one of the fiercest hitters that to ever play in the OIA, wore number 31.
Whoever wins this game will play Kahuku. They won the opening game tonight over Roosevelt, 42-18. Waianae and Regis is brought down rather rudely there by Aiea. A lot of green shirts, coach, on that play.
Here's the Hawaiian Airlines replay led by 44, Warren Tawanu'u, 6'2", 230, middle linebacker. Again, there you see Reyes. They're trying to roll him out to use his athletic ability, but the problem is the offensive line on the outsides are having a tough time stopping the contain of the defensive linemen. The defensive ends for Aiea are doing a bang-up job by keeping Reyes inside. He's not a classic pocket passer. He needs to roll out where a run-pass option would best suit his style of play.
2nd and 20. He lost 10 on it. There's a little flare-out pass. And once again, that's thrown over to Rosario, and he drops it.
Rosario, again, tried to run before he caught it. And here's the Midas touch. Fantastic face of the game.
Let's see who it is. There we go.
We
On the
got
Jumbotron.
3 faces.
Oh, yeah.
Waianae fans cheering on their team. There you go.
There we go. She's showing her colors right there. Waianae. Midas band. Back to live action here. Pass down the middle by Regis. Pass is dropped, but we also have flags down on that play.
And that's
Could
going to
there
be pass interference. Again, whenever the defender does not turn around and look for the ball, it's always going to be pass interference on the defender. That time, number 45 for Aiea, I believe. And that was...
And that's what they're going to call.
Dylan Limadisos.
A pass interference on the defense, automatic first down.
So Coach Say he's
There's
not too
Coach
happy with
Say.
that.
Yeah, he can't be happy with that call. And here's the Hawaiian Airlines replay. And the ball sailed. There's Limadisos again. That's the cardinal sin of any defender, is to not turn around and look for the ball.
The ball's on the 25-yard line, and the Seariders Regis running for his life. Gets down to back to the original line of scrimmage, in fact.
And again, when Reyes rolls out and he breaks contain as he did on that play, then that's when he's most dangerous. And here's the OIA playoffs replay, and there you see Big Kekoa Reyes, 6'1", 200. He's put together. Look at the muscular arms on this guy. And he breaks contain, and once he gets into the open field, however, they do a good job of bottling him up. And what a hit there. Tawanu'u.
Chad Rodriguez carried the ball for the Seariders, and you're right, he was blasted.
Chad Rodriguez, he's going to feel that one in the morning, baby. Let me tell you something. Here's the OIA replay. And big Warren Tawanu'u, I mean, he lays the wood down right here, man. That's how you hit somebody.
He got back to the original line of scrimmage, brings up a 3rd and 8. Ball still in the 27. Reyes throws over to the other side. That was intended again for Rosario, but he couldn't handle it. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Waianae, again, passing a lot here in this situation, but still a lot of time with 9 minutes left in the clock and their big offensive line and down by only 11. I would think that Waianae would be a little bit more patient and try to run the ball and try to take some time off the clock, get a long drive going. Well, let's see if special teams will play a factor here again.
OP for Waianae kicking off, receiving Brian Tucker Salas for the Na'ili. And he just lets it go. Look at that running punt all the way down to about the 17-yard line of Aiea.
That could have easily been a penalty as well on number 31 for Waianae. And here's the replay. 31 is Shane Rodriguez. They need to give the returner at least 2 yards. However, at the last instant, the return man turned his body away, so he no longer became eligible. In the National Federation of High School rules, you need to give the return man a 2-yard cushion.
The halo.
The halo rule, yes.
Ball's on the 18 of the Na'ili. Malagi, the quarterback. Hands off. Up the middle. Aiea Jr. gets loose. Goes down the sideline. Gets hit. Gets close to a first down.
What a great run by Junior Nehemiah, 5'11", 220. Again, not accustomed to running to the outside. And when was the last time you saw a runner bounce off tacklers like that, especially Waianae tacklers? And again, that's got to be disheartening for the heart of the defense. Here's the OIA replay. And again, it's a delayed draw. Once that passing game starts going, this kind of stuff opens up. And there you see that low center of gravity, squaring up his shoulders to the line of scrimmage and having just enough speed to break outside.
He's 2nd and 2. Carrying the ball for an Aiea is Kalani Kakawa. And he made a good game, but there were flags down on the play.
And Kalani Kekawa, and that'll come back because of a low block or clipping.
Oh, Coach Sage. Oh, no, please.
We got a block below the waist on the offense, 15 yards from the spot of the fall. Replay 2nd down.
There's Coach Matsumoto. And there's Laulangi. 31 touchdown passes, a new standard in the OIA. Against only 10 interceptions. 5 of them came last week versus Roosevelt. He had thrown an incredible 5 interceptions to 28 TDs during the regular season. Incredible ratio.
Brilliant regular season. Ball on the 18 now. Malongi running for his life. Gets away. Running with the ball. He's going to keep it. He gets down to the 26-27 yard line, and it's close to a first down, a little short.
Very close. And there's Mosa taking this opportunity to give him the next play or two. Here's the OIA playoffs replay. And again, look at the escapability on Laulangi. 54. Andrew Sexton has him by the jersey, and he just outruns everybody else to the sideline and is only comes up only a yard or 2 short of the first down. Great job by Laulangi.
3rd and 2 for the Na'ili. Malongi back, throws over the middle, and it's caught and pitched up into the air on a reception, and it's intercepted there by Thurston Ulufali for the Seariders. That was a weird play, Coach.
Thurston Ulufali, number 41, in the right place at the right time, and that's unfortunate. And here's the First Hawaiian Bank replay, and that's Antonio. And the ball gets jarred loose by big 93, Eric Edwards, and it bounces into the hands of 41, Ulufali. And Waianae, with a lot of time left in the game, they have new life in good field position.
Ball's on 27-yard line of Aiea, and there's a handoff up the middle. Is that Rosario with the ball? No, that is Rudy Tolentino. Gets maybe a couple of yards, maybe more than that. Now, it's a correction on that. Excuse me, it's Rosario.
Rosario, again, has been the workhorse here. Let's see if they kind of change it up and let Lave pound some plays in the middle at his 225-pound body going forward. That's big number 45.
Got 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Ball on the 25. Reyes goes to his right. Ball is caught
That's Lave.
by Lava, yes.
Sautia Lave, 5'11", 225, a kind of a fullback screen. He just drifts out to the right, and they let everybody go, and Reyes drops back. Here's the first Hawaiian Bank replay, and you'll get to see it unfold here. There's 45, and he acts like he's going to block. Reyes gets deep and just flicks a screen pass to 45. But the other 45 for for Aiea, Dylan Libadisos was right there.
He only got 1 yard. 3rd and 7. Reyes is brought down and hammered.
Oh, baby. That's big 44, Warren Tawanu'u, who probably is going to be an all-state player at this point. He's kind of showing a lot of his stuff here. Here's the Verizon Hawaii replay at 6'2", 230. He's a definite Division I prospect. I like how he closes on defenders, and he likes to lay a pop on them. Boy, he'll lay the smack down on you, Warren Tawanu'u.
Well, 6:14 to go here in the 4th quarter, running down. They have to go for it. 4th and 14, ball on the 31. Reyes fakes a handoff. Looks like he wants to pass. We can't do anything
And
with
that's
it.
Tawanu'u again. Big 44. What it seems to be happening here is they realize that Reyes is a running threat, and Tawanu'u, the middle linebacker, he's been assigned to spy Reyes, and in case Reyes tries to run, and here's your Marukai replay. Again, Reyes looking to run more than pass. He's not a passer, he's more of a runner. Tawanu'u, with that great closing speed, he's the spy, and he's the one that is responsible for keeping Reyes in check. Big play on 4th down, and now Aiea takes over.
On the 36, they have the ball now. There's a handoff to Kalani Kikawa. Didn't get a whole lot, but they're running the clock down.
There's Russell Bell at 6'2", 240. That's a prototype middle linebacker. We've got 2 good middle linebackers here. Russell Bell at 6'2", 240, and Warren Tawanu'u at 6'2", 230. I mean, you see that kind of size usually in college, not in high school.
Well, he lost 3 yards. 2nd and 13. Nalagi is again brought down. He may have lost some more yardage. Brought down by Shane Rodriguez.
Also their big 91, Jerome Mendez, 6'3", 225-pound junior. There's Lau Langi again, his fleet of foot. This time a host of Seariders bottle him up.
Mike Nelson here with Coach Darren Hernandez. 4:34 to go in the game here. 21-10. Aiea on top, and they're running the clock out. They have the ball on their own 34. And that's Alangi keeping the ball. Short of a 1st down. It was 3rd and 18.
And if Aiea can string together another 2 first downs, they'll have the game in hand. Here's the all-sport replay. Laulangi again. This is a misdirection, showing his running ability. And again, his running ability coupled with his ability to pass and the run and shoot makes him a double threat and doubly dangerous for defenses to contain. Shane Rodriguez on the tackle, number 31.
We've seen a lot of run and shoot by the OIA this year, Coach.
That's for sure.
There's a line drive type of punt that goes over the receiver's head. Fielding the ball for the Seariders is Chad Rodriguez, and the ball is brought down about the 10-yard line.
Tremendous
of the
punt.
Seariders.
That's a 53-yard punt. Again, fantastic special teams play right there. And now Waianae with just 3:34 and down 11. are going to be forced to pass the ball. Again, not their strong suit. They have capable receivers, but their offensive line is a run-blocking offensive line, and Reyes is a running quarterback. It's going to be a tough situation. They're going to have a big play in their passing game and score quickly to get back into this one.
Ball's on a 13-yard line, and the shotgun is Reyes. And he takes off with it. And he is brought down, getting maybe 2 or 3 yards.
And there's Reyes, and he's been taking a pounding tonight. He's getting, I mean, he, as a quarterback also playing DB. Here's the all-sport replay. Again, he's in the shotgun looking to pass. Nothing opens up for him, so he starts to take off. And he's getting leveled. But he's a tough guy. Look at him.
2nd and 6. Ball now to 17. Reyes again scrambling. Throws down the field, and it's almost intercepted. Dangerous pass. He's lucky.
That ball intended for number 80, Nathaniel Russell, a 6'3", 200-pound junior. And that was broken up there by number 3, Brian Tucker-Salas, who earlier had a big interception return. Here's the Jiffy Lube replay. Again, a play action. There's no need for play action. Everybody knows you got to pass. They could just drop back and pass here. Nice arm, nice throw. It's just that double covered there.
Still 3rd and 6. There's a throw to the left, and that hits the hands of the receiver there.
There's been a lot of drop passes here. And I think Waianae, obviously this is 2-down territory with 2:38 to go. They're going to have to go for it on 4th and 6. Look for Reyes, if nothing opens up in the passing game immediately, to try to run for the first down.
2:38 to go here. 4th quarter. 21-10. Aiea on top. There's a timeout. Waianae wants to talk it over. This is very important on this. This may be the game right here. And you see right there, Aiea is out first down to Waianae. Really not a whole lot of first downs, Coach. 8-4, but just special teams, struggle, like you said.
Exactly right. I mean, this game, 21-10, and special teams were a major factor. But again, for Aiea's defense to hold Waianae to only 4 first downs is a real credit to their staff. Their defensive coordinator, a former University of Hawaii linebacker, Mika Li'i. He's done a great job. And again, Coach Say, very deserving of this mark. He's going to, looks like with a victory here, he'll go to 10-0 on the season and picking up ahead his steam. And they're going to need him because they play Kahuku.
Got to play the number 1 guys.
Yeah, you know, when you play Kahuku, everything has to happen right for you to beat Kahuku. Kahuku can have a lot of penalties and a lot of mistakes, and they can still beat you because they're so physically awesome. So hopefully Aiea, they'll arrive up for the task, but they still got 2:38 here to worry about Waianae. Waianae's not going to quit. They're going to strap it up and play from a snap to whistle until the final tick is gone.
Well, let's see what happens. This could be the Waianae season right here. Reyes on 4th and 6, running with the ball, still running, and he can't find anybody to throw to, and he is brought down. It's going to be short of the first down. Aiea will take over.
And a valiant effort by Reyes. Eric Chuck, linebacker for Aiea, brought him down, and now it's just a matter of Aiea running out the clock. Here's the Dietrich Insurance replay, and again, Reyes trying to do so much, just maybe too much, saddled with the responsibility of playing safety and quarterback, and also trying to pick it up in the run game. And a heady player, as you saw, trying to put the ball forward, but he ends up a yard short of the first down.
Ball's on the 22 to Seariders. Travis Poche with the ball. No, I believe that's that's Kalani Kakawa. And He gets down to about the 15, 16-yard line. Seariders use up their last timeout with 2:14 to go here in the game, Coach.
You got to give credit to that offensive line, that big offensive line of Aiea. They've done a great job of giving protection. Guys like Jerry Ha, 6'2", 235, and Matai Ware, 6'3", 270. I mean, those guys are bookends, and there you can see Coach Amosa and the offensive staff working on the plays and what they're going to do with 2:14, 2nd and 5. Again, if they can score here, they'll try to score, but they're not going to try to run it up on anybody. They're just going to try to win the game, run out the clock. If they can get a score here and another insurance score, then that would be nice for their program. But again, they'll just try to probably keep it on the ground and run the clock out. Here's Laolangi, senior. They're going to miss him next year when they go to the Red Conference.
It will be different next year. Laolangi will not be around to see it. However, he sees this play. Hands off up the middle.
And Waianae, with no timeouts left, can no longer stop the clock. So just probably a series of handoffs. That's Jordan Moniz, 5'8", 160, getting some carries. And Ulufale, 41, making the tackle.
Clock ticks down. A minute 50 to go.
Well, the Cinderella season continues for the Na'ali'i. This is a big win under their belt. Can't remember when the last time they defeated Waianae.
Hand off once again up the middle. And that is Jordan Moniz.
On 3rd and 7, it looks like he got 6 yards. That's very close to a first down. And it's going to be 4th and about 1 yard. Here's the Tanioka's Seafood and Catering replay and the Tihati Productions replay. Great job of moving his feet. Big offensive line blocking up front. They're a yard short.
Just 56 ticks left to go here. 4th and 1 on the 13 of the Seariders. Laolangi holds on to the ball. He's brought down. And Waianae will take over about the 23-yard line. But they won't have much time for anything, Coach. No timeouts. What will they do?
Waianae, and that's Clifton Kia Cox, linebacker. Here's the Paina Bar and Grill replay. And there's that misdirection, but Waianae was up to the task there. And Laolangi goes down. And now with 43 seconds, Reyes will come in one more time for a couple of shots at the end zone and hopefully try to get a score on
We got
the
a dead
board
ball
for
fall.
Pride.
Unsportsmanlike conduct
Again,
against the White
Waianae
team.
season.
After the play, first down White.
Waianae battled back from that 0-2 start to go 5-3, and that's a credit to Coach Matsumoto as you take a look at him and his staff. But again, there's no mistaken that this is a very disappointing season for Waianae. Waianae is not used to having their season end on November 1st.
There's a intended pass out to the side, and it's dropped. It goes out of bounds with 38 seconds left.
The
to
lack
go
of a
here.
downfield threat has really hurt Waianae. I mean, they do have the threat, but they haven't been able to pass down the field. And now with 38 seconds and counting after that incomplete pass, again, Waianae, I mean, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and Waianae usually plays deep into November, and for them to be out of the playoff hunt is really a surprising situation for them.
Rays all the way down, long pass down the field. It was dropped. Ball was in the hands of Tucker Salas.
And that it's intended for number 81, Teasel Hines. Here's the Midas replay. Teasel Hines, the leading receiver, he caught passes for 348 yards this season. And a tall kid at 6 foot tall, but again, double covered. That'll bring up 3rd and 10 with 29 seconds. Aiea faithful making a lot of noise and very proud of their team, as they should be.
That's for sure. They've had a heck of a season. Waianae's just winding down now. Pass out to the flat. That's number 21, Rodriguez. And the clock is running down here. I'm sorry, that's not 21. That is, again, Rosario.
And with 13, 12, 10, 9 seconds, Waianae showing a lot of pride. They're going to go for one more play.
And now the clock runs out. Yeah, they let it go. There's a pass. It's caught again by
and there you see
Ferns, but the clock's over. Game's over. Yeah.
Congratulatory hugs all around as the Aiea Na'ali'i, in a somewhat of an upset, beats Red Conference 4th place team Waianae.
You know, and we say that they're actually 7th ranked. I believe Waianae's 9th ranked, but people look at this really as an upset simply because of the Waianae
tradition.
Right. And Aiea has come in here and just done an outstanding job here. Don't you think, Coach? I mean, they just, Coach Sather's just done an outstanding job. They're 10-0 now. This is a team that may be for real here.
Well, I tell you what, they look for real tonight, but the big test is going to be next week when they play the Red Raiders, the defending state champions. There you see the camaraderie and the sportsmanship that's OIA football with Coach Matsumoto, gracious in defeat, and Coach Say. And again, and humble in victory, I might add, Coach Say. But again, next week they have a formidable task ahead of them. The Kahuku Red Raiders, their number 1 defense, number 1 offense in the red, able to run and throw. If they click on all cylinders, they can make it a game, but they got to play a mistake-free football to get that done.
Kahuku's going to be tough, no doubt about that. And you have to wait till next week to see it. And of course, this year, Coach, there will be no championship in the OIA. I think they're just ending it at the semifinals because of the terrorist attack set the schedule back a week. So those teams automatically go into playoffs anyway.
So the 2 winners will be the co-champions of the OIA. And there's Lole Laulangi, 31 touchdown passes, a tremendous season for the senior. His maneuverability is going to come in handy next week when they play Kahuku.
Yeah, you can see it. Aiea is just really pumped up, looking up at the sky.
And there's the man of the hour, Warren Tawanu, who just got sacked by his own man. That's big 99, Michael Jaber. And here's a play of the game here on special teams. Chris Antonio, that tightrope walk down the sidelines, that 87-yard kickoff return that sparked the Aiea second half rally that did it for them. And Aiea still undefeated at 10-0, headed picking up a head of steam into the playoffs.
Just a magical season, undefeated at 10-0. Of course, Waianae had a very good season as well, but not a usual Waianae season. We're used to seeing them. It's just been that way this year. It's been Aieia's season, I suppose, at this point in time, and they've shown it tonight.
Well, Waianae will be back, but it's a great win for the Na'ali'i.
So for the Stadium Jumbotron crew, our floor director, Mary Meredith, along with Darren Hernandez, coach, I'm Mike Nelson. Again, the final score, Aiea 21, Waianae 10. Tonight's 2001 OIA post-semifinal playoff football game is a presentation of Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. Aloha.